I'm Helen Barrett, vocal coach, and today I want to talk to you about why you're a better singer than you think you are. Now, you may be an experienced singer, or perhaps you're somebody that only sings in the shower, or maybe you're someone that never ever sings at all. No matter which category in, I want to tell you that you're probably a better singer than you think you are. And here's why. If you can speak, you can sing. And that's because the vocal anatomy that allows us to speak and talk is the same anatomy that allows us to sing. It isn't different. We may use it slightly differently, but essentially it's the same. Now, growing up, you may have been told that don't give up your day job. Oh, it's like nails down a blackboard. And you may have thought to yourself, I can't sing. I don't want to sing out loud. It's awful. I sound really bad. And at that point, you stopped enjoying singing just for the pleasure of it. But actually, everybody can sing, and we don't need to be Mariah Carey to do it. We can all be in tune, we can all have a really nice voice, and we can all enjoy it. It's a bit like running. If you can walk and run, you can enjoy running and do a lot of it. You don't need to be Usain Bolt, you don't need to go really fast, you can still do it. But what happens is certain thoughts come into our minds, like I said, sometimes around the age of 10 or puberty, and they really crush us and make us think that we can't sing. Other times it's because you just didn't grow up in an environment which was encouraged to sing. And therefore you never really got to hear your voice in that way. And when you did try, you were put off because you weren't used to it. Whatever the scenario for you, you need to remember that you were born with the vocal anatomy to sing. And when you start from that place, then you begin to discover ways of making your voice come alive, sing on pitch, and really enjoy yourself with it. So I want to solve some problems with you that you may have been having, which may have been adding to you believing that you're not a good singer. Let's start with one problem I know a lot of people have. You're driving in your car, you're feeling good, and you've put a song on the radio. It feels great, you're singing with the singer, and you think your voice sounds great and you're happy with it. Then all of a sudden, the singer goes to do a big swooping note or a big belting note, and you go to join in and your voice cracks. And there you have it. You take it as evidence that you're not a very good singer and that you can't do what they're doing. Well, here are some things to bear in mind when you're practicing a song. First of all, if you're practicing and you're sitting down in the car, then this is going to bend you in two and cut off your air supply quite a lot. So when singers sing, they really need to have a good foundation of breath control. And as they use their vocal anatomy, they need to have good posture too. So firstly, sitting in the car and trying to sing high notes is not a great way to practice. So make sure you're practicing at home or somewhere you're comfortable with and you're standing up. The other thing to bear in mind is the song you're hearing on the radio has had a lot of production value. If you ever read the list of people that have worked on an album, the vocal engineers, the musicians, all the people that go together to make it sound like it does at the moment you turn it on, it's a big list. Sometimes artists record and re-record certain sections, sometimes just single words, to make them sound just right. It's also true that some artists will sing a song in one key for the recorded version, maybe higher, and then for the live version, a little bit lower, depending on how they're comfortable with their voices. So it's really worth bearing those things in mind, because when you're trying to sing along with the radio and you feel like you're not getting the notes, it's worth remembering that this artist has worked with the world's best microphones to get those notes. So that's really worth bearing in mind. Another thing that should be said is that, of course, if they're an experienced singer, then they've probably worked on their vocal range. They've probably spent hours making sure that they can hit all the notes in the songs. We never want to underestimate what practice it takes to sing a song. On an everyday level, we're only using certain notes of our voice as we speak to our friends and our colleagues. There are high notes and belty notes that we never use, maybe for weeks on end. If you want to sing a song, you've got to exercise your whole voice. You've got to work on it, and in a healthy way. So when you come to sing a note with the artist, it's not a surprise to the body. Suddenly out of nowhere, you're trying to get high notes that you've never done before. Another thing to remember is that the song you're listening to has been tailored to the singer's voice. Now, if you're a female singing along with a male singer, you're most likely not going to be able to hit all the notes that he hits. He's got a deeper voice, and vice versa. Also, you may have a lovely, rich, low singing voice, and the singer you're listening to sings all those really high notes. You don't have to be able to get all the same notes as the singer you're listening to be considered a good singer. So it might be worth considering, if you want to sing the song, changing the key of the song. You can do that with an app or yourself or with a musician, but you find what's comfortable for you. When we sing, it's about connecting and creating a beautiful song. It isn't about vocal gymnastics and being able to go really high and really low with everything that you sing. So focus on creating a smooth sound with your voice, and just bear in mind the key of the song may not be the right one for you. Another way in which you're probably a better singer than you think you are is when you find that your voice is drying up and breaking often. Maybe you can sing one song and it sounds great, and then you go again to sing and that's it. It seems to crack and disappear and be thin. And you're like, what's happening? It could be that you're trying too hard. It could be that in your effort to get lots of power, perhaps like the singer on the radio in the car, you're pushing too much air through those vocal cords. Now, we all know that we need breath for singing to help support the vocal cords in their action and to help get that sound, that voice to ring out. But we don't need to use it all at once. We don't make sound through our vocal cords by pushing and pushing. If we do that, our lovely little vocal cords, which vibrate really efficiently, get tired and they get worn out, and it's too much pressure on them and they give out. Sometimes by just trying too hard, we end up making ourselves sound hoarse, we make it sound harsh, and our voices are not as clear and as rich as we'd like them to be, and how they are sometimes. So just bear this in mind. When you go to sing, just ask yourself, how much air do I need for this? And it's not something that you need to work out like a mathematician. Think about when you speak. You don't have to overly think about the breath. It's there. You know when to take a breath. So take a breath naturally and then allow the sound to come out smoothly, allowing the breath to come out a little bit at a time. Don't over push and don't over dry those vocal cords out. because what you'll find is actually it's not this hard work thing that you need to really, really push for. It's actually a lot easier than you think you are, and your voice can sound rich and whole. So have a go at that. Ask yourself, is that what I'm doing? And maybe you'll find that actually you can create a warmer, more smooth tone. Okay, here's another situation for you that you might relate to. You're with a group of friends and you're having fun, maybe at a party, and perhaps you're singing happy birthday. Someone's filming it and you feel great, and to you, you sound great. But then you watch the footage back and you're like, oh, I sound terrible and I can't pitch at all. I sound really bad. Or perhaps you're somebody that loves to sing and you sing and write songs and you record them, but when you listen to it back, you don't sound like yourself at all. What's going on? Well, the first thing that could be going on, especially in the scenario with the group of singers, is that you just don't really know the tune. It can be easy to think when we sing along with the radio that we know a song, but actually a melody can be quite complicated. So if you really want to make sure that you're singing what the singer's singing and not going off some direction that's not meant to be, then you have to take your time, sit down, and learn the melody properly. With the singer-songwriter scenario, it's worth remembering that anxiousness is a big factor in not being able to pitch well. So, like anything, if you're full of anxiousness, quite often your mind goes blank and your muscles tense up. So if that's happening to you, it could be that you're going off key because you're full of anxiousness and you're just not being able to take your time and sing the melody like you'd like to. But in both these scenarios, it's also worth remembering that being strong with your vocal tone and being able to move from note to note and pitch to pitch, it takes practice. That's why singers are always doing scales, to allow their bodies to get used to adjusting from note to note. It's a bit like doing an activity at the gym and lifting something. You have to keep practicing so the muscles know how to lift and get strong. You have to keep practicing so the vocal cords and the body and the anatomy and the breath can all get used to singing those notes. So don't be too hard on yourself if it doesn't sound quite right. Take a moment to step back and ask yourself, what's going on? And am I really not able to pitch? Or perhaps there's something else. Perhaps it's anxiety, perhaps it's not knowing the song, or perhaps you just need to do a little more practice with scales and with your vocal range to help it develop. So what I want you to take away today from this video is an awareness of your own voice, but without judgment. Singing is something we can all do and all enjoy if we have the tools to talk. If you can sing, listen to your voice and ask questions like, what's happening? Why am I not able to get that note? Why do I sound raspy? Why is my voice getting tired? Why was I able to sing at home and now I'm not able to sing? And then do your research to find out what's going on without the judgment, then you're going to become a great singer quickly, and it's going to be a healthy and smooth voice. Judgment, anxiety, not being aware, these are things that really stop the voice from developing. It's not a case of there are some people that can sing and some people that can't, and there are some people that should sing and there are some people that shouldn't. It's a case of, do you want to sing? Do you enjoy singing? And just listening to your body and finding out what's going on. If you do that and take time for your voice, then you will sing well on pitch with a smooth tone and enjoy yourself. So thanks for watching this video today, and I really hope that you have a lot of fun singing and, again, enjoying your voice.